How's it going? I haven't baked any bread for a while, and that's because I have one on my list that I kind of had to wait for because it's a little bit seasonal. Today we're going to make a whole wheat artisan bread with pumpkin and flax seeds. Now, this recipe is going to take about 5 hours to make, so you have to plan accordingly for this kind of stuff for rise times and rest and stuff. So we're just going to go through the ingredients and get started on this. I think I'm going to just call out the ingredients as I'm mixing them together. So the first thing we're going to start out with is 3 cups of warm water. Now, because of the volume that this is going to make, they recommend we have a large pot. They recommend the insert of an Instant Pot, which is what I'm using. So let's go ahead and start mixing these things together. 3 cups of warm water to start with. Now, what we're basically doing right now is getting the yeast started. So we're going to put in a number of items. We're going to put in the water, the yeast, salt, oil, and sugar. Then we're going to add in the dry goods. So let's go ahead and add the yeast. Now it says 2 1/4 teaspoons of granulated yeast. That seems like about a package to me. Yeast added. Next, 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Then we're going to do 2 tablespoons of oil. And then 1 tablespoon of sugar. All right, we'll go ahead and give that a whisk. Now it says to add the flour and then stir briefly with a wooden spoon to moisten. This is 6 1/2 cups of whole wheat flour. And now we stir briefly to moisten. Next, we add in the pumpkin and flax seeds. It says 2 to 4 tablespoons each. We're going to do 3. It sounds like a reasonable mid-range number. And now we continue stirring until it's evenly combined and there's no more dry flour. There we have the mixed up dough. That's all there is to it. Now the hard part starts, the waiting. We have to cover this up and let it rise for a bit, probably an hour or more. Then we put it in the fridge for about 3 hours before we start forming the loaves. So let's go ahead and cover it up and let it rise. And we'll see you back then. All right, this is risen almost to fill the entire container. The next step on this is we leave it covered and we put it in the fridge for 3 hours. So, I guess I'll see you in 3 hours. All right, it's been 3 hours or more really. And the next step is we have removed the dough out of the fridge, and we are to, it says several different things in the recipe that we can form it up into separate loaves, 3 or 4 loaves. And then it says things like you can form it into a ring or etc., etc. And I think what I want to do is I'm going to form it into 3 long, I guess, loaves, and then I want to braid it. That's what I'm doing. So we're going to divide this up into 3, and then make long and skinny things out of them. Never braided dough before, so this will be a new experience for me. So, we're going to take that and try to braid it and see how that works out. I don't know that it's going to be terribly spectacular, but you know what? You never learn anything unless you try, so let's give it a shot. Well, it doesn't look horrible. Okay, I'm just going to pinch the ends and make sure that they're all nice and together. And now our next step is we're going to let this rise for an hour, and then we'll be ready to put it in the oven. So let's cover this up and let it rise and see what happens. Alright, so this has been rising for an hour. We're going to take the plastic off. We're preheating the oven now to 450 degrees. My next step is I am to take water and brush it on to the bread, and then sprinkle pumpkin and flax seeds over the top, and then do a little bit of slashing with my my lame. So I will freely admit, this doesn't look exactly how I pictured it. The individual strands were a lot thicker than I think are appropriate for this kind of bread, but we're going to press on through. I suspect it's going to be just as delicious no matter what. But, you know, we're going to finish it up and see how it turns out, I guess. All right, now we're going to let the oven finish preheating. When it's done, we pour a cup of hot water into a baking pan that's on the bottom rack, and then we place the loaf of bread on the bread stone that's on the middle rack, and we bake it for 20 minutes, and then we take it out, remove it from the parchment, and put it back on the breadstone so that the bottom can crisp up. All right, it's ready. We're about to get it out. Here it comes. It's not terrible. I'm going to brush it down with a little bit of butter on top here, and then we're going to serve it up.
Ready?
Yeah. You ready?
Yes.
All right, give it a try.
It is piping hot, so let's see.
Nice and crispy.
Really tasty.
Did you get any seeds?
I didn't yet.
The ones on the top are nice and toasty.
I don't think I see a... Oh, wait. There's a seed on this part. Really good.
Really good? I like the fact that it sounds crunchy, yet it's nice and soft on the inside.
It's really good.
I too have some. Look at that. Oh. Is there anything better than fresh baked bread?
No.
I don't think so either. There's a seed right there.
It's really yummy.
Okay. It's not the prettiest. It was my first attempt at braiding. Clearly I need to work on that. But the bread itself, it's amazing.
Super yummy.
All right, we're going to go enjoy. We'll see you guys around. Bye now.